Well, g'day, I'm Jack, and welcome to another Mad Yaks video. Now in this video I'm going to show you how to build a clothesline. Yep, that's right, how boring. Right, now what we've done is we've chosen a reasonable location for our clothesline, and I've got a real crook back, so my mate dug the pile holes and we tried to maximise the distance between the two posts to give us plenty of potential to hang our clothes. Now if I didn't stop my mate, I had to check on him periodically, and if I didn't stop him he would have dug his way to China. Right, now what I've done is I've gone and got two pieces of 75mm or 3-inch diameter galvanised pipe, cut at 2.6 metres long. Now that's not a reflection of how tall it's going to be, that's taken into account the post hole that's being dug. I've then got some 50 by 50 by 4mm Duragalv angle iron. I got two 1 metre lengths of that, or a 2 metre length, and cut it in half at 1 metre for each post. And what I've done is I've come in 50mm at each end, and then I've drilled my hole, and then 50mm at each end is 100mm, so 1000mm less 100 leaves 900mm. Now you want to divide that remaining 900mm up among three. I want 4 wires, so you don't divide it by the number of wires you want, you divide it by the number of gaps left. So that's 3 gaps left. 900 divided by 3 is 300mm. So we've got 50 from the edge, and then the first hole, and then we've got 300mm, and the second hole, another 300mm, third hole, and then our final 300mm with our fourth hole, and then the remaining 50mm off the other end. Now the hole diameter I used was 3/8 of an inch, and that was because the eye bolts that I intend using have a 3/8 diameter shank on them, so that's why I used the 3/8 drill bit. Now I've welded this cross member onto the post. I've come down about 50mm from the top of my post, and I've welded the cross member on and been careful to square it all up and everything, and used the clamp to hold it in position. I've then got my braces, and I've used a bit of 50mm by 4mm Duragalv flat for that. They're 450mm long, and they're cut at 45s. And that's essentially where I'm at now. I'm now going to weld those on in place. Now when you go to weld galvanised pipe, it's always very prudent to be getting out your angle grinder and removing any of the galvanised coating, because it's not a very nice thing to weld. It doesn't take to being welded nicely when it's got a coating of galvanised on, so it's best to remove that totally, and we'll replace that later on as I will show you. Right, now striking while the iron's hot has never had a more significant meaning than right now. What we do is we get our galv bar, and then we just press it into the hot weld, and it just melts its way in there nicely. And then when you've got it looking pretty good, you get out your wire brush and you brush it in, and that sort of smooths it over nicely and makes a really good job of a nice looking finish and a rough proofing coating as well. Right, now if you find that it's gone cold and you've just missed out, then there are a couple of options. You can go to like one of the zinc type sprays, or the bright zinc. The bright zinc one is more consistent with the colour of the brand new galvanised pipe. And the other option, of course, if you've got one handy, is a gas plant. Now what we do is we heat the metal up, and you're not trying to get it cherry red or anything like that. In fact, nowhere near it. All you're doing is trying to get a bit of heat into it, enough to melt the galv bar, and then just do as we've done as per hot weld. Just press it into press the galv bar into the weld, and then just brush it off with the wire brush, and that'll give the good finish. Right, and I'm just going to round these edges off, otherwise some person will end up whacking their scone on it, and I'm going to be the one that gets in trouble. Right, now it's off to plant the damn things. Right, we're back on location now, and it's in with the posts. Now there's a few different ways these can go. We've got up and down, we've got forward and aft, and we've got port side and starboard. And then of course we've got to keep the arms parallel with each other. So we've got to stop the twist as well. So no real pressure, but and when you go to place your pole in, don't just stick it straight in the ground. Stick it on something like this red brick here, just to keep it up off the ground so that it won't actually dig into the ground and then start rusting later on. Right, well that's about it here. Now, ideal height apparently is the line to be 2 inches above the head of he who is using it. Who the hell wrote that rule I wouldn't know, because people come in all different shapes and sizes, and unless it's adjustable you're really a crap out of luck. I'm just sort of guessing it here. Probably 2 inches below my head, so the average chick, she might be about 5'3" or 4 or 5 or something, so it might suit her just spot on. It ain't going to be me that's using it, that's for sure. You only really need to be reasonably rough and ready at this stage. You don't have to be too pedantic, because it's when I put the concrete in, it's going to move the thing badly, I'd expect. So it's just trying to get it rough and ready, and then we can fine tune it once we've got the concrete in. Do a measure. And it's 44.35. That's 44.25. I won't tell if you won't. Okay, despite the way this ground looks like it's going uphill, and it is, the posts are actually level. We did shoot them with a dumpy level, so they should be spot on. Later on I intend to level all this out anyway, so one of the posts, same height. Right, well there we are at this stage of the game, and it's time for the concrete. Right, well there we are. Everything seems to be sweet. I've measured them all up and plumbed them all up. Now it's time to let them rest and get over their operation, over their trauma, and hopefully when they all set, we can put the wires in and complete it. Okay, now I'm back on location and it's time to install the wires. Now, first of all, as you can see, we've done a bit of work here on the ground. I've dug out the dirt that was there and I've replaced it with some AP20 over top of some weed mat, and that should keep the weeds away and give a good base for you to keep your shoes clean and everything like that. So I've got my wire now, my clothesline wire. I haven't done this before, so I'm just pretty much feeling my way and just going to show you what I've done. Right, now I've also got some clamps, and I've also got some eye bolts like I showed earlier on, and also some of this heat shrink, and that's just to put over the end once I've put the clamps on, and to hopefully stop you getting your fingers spiked on the end of any loose wires. Right, now it's just a matter of simply cutting the wire to length and then running it out to the ends, and when you get to the ends, just poke your eye bolts through and just start the nuts. Don't do them right up, because that'll give you some adjustment that you can do once you got the other end on. And then when it's done, just simply tighten up the nuts. And that'll give the right tension on your line. Now I'm going to do the other side now before I get too tight with it and start twisting things, and simply repeat the process for all the other lines that you're putting out. and it'll have it finished. Right, with that all tensioned up, it's now time for the wife to do the laundry. Hope you enjoyed the video.